Steve Moore joins us. Steve, a former economic advisor to President Trump. He's a senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks. Steve, great to see you. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
You too.
Let me
see you too, Connell.
Let me ask you about this in that simple way. What's a conservative argument kind of against this bill in favor of TikTok? Lay it out.
Well, by the way, I'm kind of on the fence on this. I really want to hear more information about it. And I do think it's rather rash to rush in to pass this bill before we kind of really know what the effect would be. Now, I should tell you also, Connell, that I'm not a TikTok user, but my wife is a religious TikTok user for recipes. And, you know, and it's interesting because she shows me stuff on TikTok and, you know, 95% of the stuff has nothing to do with politics or, you know, national security issues. It's just, you know, sports and entertainment and music and things like that. And so I guess my concern is this. As you guys were just talking about, 100, we don't know the exact number, let's say 130, 140 million Americans are using this. So that's a pretty strong statement that people like the product, right? I mean, people are buying it, they like it. And for the government to take it away from people, I'm kind of libertarian in my orientation. I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't watch. Now, your previous guest made a good point. He said, well, you know, aren't you concerned? These users should be concerned about, you know, China's possibly spying on them and so on. Right. My feeling is, okay, if you're concerned about that, there's a really easy solution here, right? You just turn it off. You know, why do we have to have the government abolish it if Americans are concerned about the Chinese government?
Well, you could force the sale, though. What's wrong with a forced sale? That would, you know, some American investor or...
And that may be, in the end, you know, the ultimate, you know, solution here. I mean, the final solution would be that they may have to do that. And, of course, if this legislation passes, Connell, that there probably is no other choice because they need the American market. I am told by some of the spokesmen that I've talked to at TikTok that that's a really difficult thing for them to do, just disentangle the ownership, and they certainly couldn't do it in 6 months. So it's not necessarily a practical solution in the short term. In the long term, it might be, you know, they may have to do this. But the other thing is, you know, I think that Trump makes a good point that what we want in the social media sphere is we want a lot of competition. You know, we want Google to compete with YouTube, to compete with
because he was critical. Well, critical. He talked about Facebook and you know the Zuckerberg comments. So that's your point. Is that the competition issue is why you're kind of on the fence about this.
Yeah, because well, look, a lot of the things that are being said about TikTok could, you know, how trying to sway the election and things like that. Right. Well, guess what? You know, that's what the other social media platforms do.
But this is China, right, Steve? I mean, this is the Chinese government.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And that's why, I mean, you might be right, Connell. In the end of the day, it might be best for everyone if they find a way that they could disentangle from the Chinese government. Look, I'm not a Chinese sympathizer by any means. I do think that China is an adversary and an enemy of the United States. So it is a very legitimate concern.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting to watch how this has played out all week, right? Especially on the Republican side, Democratic side too. But as I said to Paul Rieckhoff, was our first guest. Usually these things are so predictable, right? You got an issue, you know, one side's against it, one side's for it. Now it's like, well, I'm not really sure. And to your point, many of the people who are even President Trump, he's flip-flopped on it. He tried to ban it himself. There are other people like that who are not pro-China, right? But they're now coming down on the other side of this issue. And the Republicans, I said this at the top too, I wonder what you make of this. In a lot of these other issues, President Trump comes out and says, oh, I'm going this way, like the border. And they say, yep. Right. He says jump, they say how high, but not now. You know, this is an interesting one. Why is that?
Yeah. I think because there is such a strong anti-China sentiment, and you know, I get that because I'm anti-China. I do think that there could be a real political blowback on this because Americans do want to use the product because they voted with their feet, so to speak, and that they're signing up for it. I think that they might be. It is so interesting to me, by the way. What did you say the vote was? 350. House Republican, I mean, House numbers.
It was a big number because it had to be 2/3, right? It had to be 2/3 because they fast-tracked it. They fast-tracked it, but it was an interesting split.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time anything passed out of the House with 350 votes. So, you know, you have now the Senate is a different story. It's the deliberative body. We'll see what happens. But I hope they do deliberate. I want to make sure. I mean, this is a big decision about whether to ban a product. And one other quick thing, and then
Sure.
I know we got to go. The thing that's kind of interesting about TikTok is it really is true. This has spawned literally millions of businesses in the United States. People working in their home, they're
Right.
able to use TikTok to find customers.
A lot of small
Do we
businesses
really,
too. Yeah, who use it
lot
for
of
that
small
purposes.
businesses, yeah.
Exactly. So that's why it's not as easy as, oh, you know, we're
Exactly.
anti-China, get rid of it. I get it. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.